Hey friends, I hope you're doing well. I have my December 2017 budget report for you. I spent a lot of money this month. This is one of, I think, only 3 months this year that I spent more than I made, because I do track that on mint.com of my spending versus my earnings for the month. And obviously, if you have more higher spend than income months, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But I had a lot of money that I had pre-saved for expenses this month previously, and I also pulled from some saving funds in other places this month. So let's just jump in and I'll show you what I did. All right, first off, let's go to my income. I made $2,549.84 from my normal job. That is after my pre-tax contribution to my retirement, which I currently save 7.7%. and that is $269.50. When I finish baby step 3, I will increase that to 15%, and so that will be more. But for right now, it is the standard that Texas A&M encourages you to do. So that is that. And next up, over in the notes section, I had to pay out of pocket to move to my new apartment. I had rats in my old apartment, and I'll link a video down below on how that whole situation played out and why I'm in a new apartment now. And essentially, the apartment complex, I was able to negotiate with them to offer a $700 moving cost reimbursement in the form of a rent allocation. So I got $700 off of future month's rent to offset the cost that I had to incur moving, but I had to pay those out of pocket at the time. As you can see, that's only $610 that's in this box. So I actually netted $90 that I didn't have to pay at all. And I did that by paying the movers cash. Now, this was actually including a tip. The quote that they gave me was about $700, and that included moving boxes, stuff like that. I didn't use all the moving boxes. I got some free moving boxes, and on the day of, it was less work than they thought it would be. I also got a 10% discount for pulling out cash. So I actually only ended up paying $610. That included a very healthy tip because the moving guys were awesome. So that was $90 that I netted in my pocket. And I didn't have to pay rent this month, as I'm talking in January. And I'll have a little bit of a discount on next month's rent. So that worked out very well for me. Next up, Rory had a little sick day. She had a little puppy urinary tract infection. I had to bring her to the puppy doctor. It cost $164.46 for her tests and her medication, and that was no fun at all. But she's feeling much better now, and that came partly from her sinking fund, which is generally for her annual checkup and her medication. It didn't quite cover it, so the extra $64 actually came out of my medical sinking fund. So I didn't need it. She did. It had to come from somewhere. Why not medical? We can just be a team. We can be a family. It can be a family medical sinking fund account if it has to be. I'll also relook at my budget for that and see if I need to increase my sinking fund contribution. And I put some fitness money into a future sinking fund for something I wanted. All right, next I had a wedding that I had to attend this month, and this is all the money that went into that. During the month, I spent $194.13, including the plane ticket that I bought the previous month, and this doesn't even include the dress or the shoes. It was almost $550. I can go into that in another video if you guys would like for me to do a how much it costs for me to be a bridesmaid video, which I think might be interesting, especially considering it's a big investment, especially if you have to travel for weddings. So perhaps we could go over that, and it would be helpful to you before you make any decisions on whether you want to participate in someone else's wedding and if it'll be a good fit for where you are financially. So leave me a comment below on that. Now, all of this did come from my travel sinking fund, because that was the money that I had set aside to travel and do fun things, and a wedding of a friend of mine does count as a fun thing for me. That's the only place it could come from. All right, Christmas, of course, was in December. Most of Christmas got paid for in November, but there were a few things that just came out after, and I ended up spending $175.60. Some of this was taking my family out for bowling. Some of it was a firewood stand, last-minute gifts, other things that I needed that I forgot. Some of that money was there left over from my Christmas sinking fund. Some of it was not, and I had to just make it work in my regular budget. Fortunately, over here in my regular budget, I actually came out pretty well. My gas was only $28.66. I didn't really do a lot of traveling. I did all my traveling in November. People came to me this time, so that was helpful, and I didn't have to work for a whole week of it, so that cut down on my travel expenses. Electricity was very reasonable despite the fact that this was paying across 2 apartments, and my groceries was only $50 over, which, considering that I hosted 2 people for a whole week, that was pretty awesome as well. My restaurant spending was down because we did cooking inside instead of going out to eat a lot, which was awesome. I didn't have any medical costs. I did have some laundromat costs before because I was washing things as I moved over. I wanted to get all the fabrics ready before I moved in. And in personal, I did overspend by $60. Let's see what I bought. All right. As you can see, this was the grocery. This was the restaurant. I was a little over. I was a little under. The overage, I'll just tell you right now, it was for extra shopping for making Christmas dinners and dinners the week that my family was here. I have no regrets on that at all whatsoever. I loved every single minute that they were here. It was so much fun. Okay, so I bought a new skillet, and that was really good because I needed one. My old one was pretty much busted, and I used Kohl's cash, actually, that I had left over from after doing Christmas shopping, and which it was like $35 off of $35 purchase. So essentially free money. You just have to go and purchase an item for that amount or less in store before the coupon ended. Coupon ended the day I went and got the skillet. It was like a $70 skillet, but it was on sale, plus the Kohl's cash I got for $17, and it's such a nice skillet. It's by Food Network. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, I had to print something off at Walgreens. Looks like a gift. I did get a new coat at Torrid. It was on super sale for $28. That's awesome. I did buy some more silverware. That was my big cost on here. Oh, whoops. That was already in here. Okay, never mind. I was under. I usually check this like 2 or 3 times before I show it to you. But as you can see, oops. Alright, as you can see, I already had the silverware here. I accidentally logged it twice. So the silverware was in here. I only had 1 set of silverware, and I needed more. It was time for me to go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and bought a double set. I now have essentially 3 sets of the same silverware, and I love it. I hope I will never ever have to buy silverware again. I love this set. So, and I got a top from Torrid, spent some money, King Dollar, TJ Maxx, did a share of a present, and let's see, now I have $72 left. Alright, well, let's see where we're going to put that. Well, I know where we're going to put it. So, going on down, I made $702 from Budget Girl. Thank you guys very much for watching. That was my check this month. And here's the big thing. I bought a new computer. Essentially, for Budget Girl purposes, I finally got a MacBook. It's really the technology that people in this space are using in iMovie and Final Cut Pro. You can do a lot more than you can in Windows Movie Maker, which is what I've been doing for the past 4 years. So it'll be nice to have a computer that caters to the space in which I am working. Also, I get to deduct some of those expenses from my overall YouTube income for tax purposes. So it was a good time to buy it. I also spent some money right here on the giveaway box that I recently did. That was so much fun. I bought the Financial Diet's new book, which was excellent, and I'm going to do some stuff with that. And I got the MacBook and some accessories for it. So total, that was $1,134.18, and I didn't have any outside YouTube stuff this month, so there was that. I made $13 off of an old subscription, or essentially an affiliate link that I'm still getting some residuals from, and I made $155 doing some freelance writing. Now, I'm not doing that anymore because I just didn't have time for it, but this was a nice little bump, and I get to put it entirely to my baby step 3. So that plus a big fat check from Ebates, which is essentially a plugin that you put on your desktop, and it gives you percentages back on things that you shop for online. It's completely free. I have a link for that down below. It's really cool. I got a check from them, essentially for stuff that I was already buying online. So that was pretty cool. I'm liking them a little bit. So we have, all right, so total $177.43 to the emergency fund from additional income plus $500 regular save. My emergency fund was at about $6,600. 500 brought it up to 71%, so $7,100. So I just jumped over to my bank account and I transferred the $72 over from my regular account to my emergency fund, and it actually brought it up from $7,300 and change to $7,419. So I'm actually up a total of 8%, and my new emergency fund amount is 74% funded. So up 8% in a month that I spent far more than I made, but it was all from previous savings, of course. I think I did pretty well in December. I would love to hear how you did this month. If you had any holiday-related fails, I certainly overspent a little bit on Christmas, as you saw that overage that I had. It was my first debt-free Christmas, so I wasn't really counting the pennies that much. I did buy some stuff that I'm going to use in years to come, and overall, I don't regret a second of it, especially since I didn't use credit. I'm not paying for that this year. I was able to make it work within my budget without really sacrificing anything. In fact, I've found in previous years as well that my restaurant and personal spending go down in December because I don't need anything, and I'm generally eating in. So those pretty much, plus with electricity costs being down, pretty much offset the overage that I spent on Christmas stuff. Either way, my budget came out to zero. That's what we do with the zero-based budget. Every single dollar has a purpose, so every single dollar that came in got put dedicated to something, whether it was spent on Christmas, on gas, or to the emergency fund. And I'm going into the new year with 74% of my big emergency fund funded. So of course, now that I'm looking at it, I'm just wishing it was 75% funded. Oh well, that's what January's for. I would love to hear how your Decembers went, and maybe what was the best thing that you did for Christmas. Not what you got, but the best memory you had from this Christmas. I hope you're having a great new year, and I'll see you next time. Bye.